Hi guys, we're back again with this video for uh, for a recent topic about the VADA testing. Mm, it came out clean for Casimero. People would wonder, and most of Filipinos would not wonder about this, the Filipino strength. Okay, why do these Filipinos have great strength in them? Uh, First, it's not really a mystery, and it there is no PEDS in it. Uh, it's For me, in my own experience, as I grew up in the Philippines, and I venture to places in the Philippines, and I talked to a lot of people in the Philippines. I exposed myself too much to all the people, like poor people, rich people, country people, people in the mountains. When I was small, I always go out with my dad, and he has had good relationship with all the people, especially with the people of the farmlands. And I've seen them, and when I was a kid, I've seen them work, and they are very strong people. They are very strong people. And I've seen also the carpenters in the Philippines back home. They are very strong people. Okay, so what makes them strong? Uh, I can just give a hunch about why they are strong. I'm not a scientist, but God gave me a brain to analyze things. Um, my great grandparent, who is white, he is pure white. He's a Basque. He is under the flag of Spain. So Spain is there are people who live in Spain, and they are Basque people, Basque, northern Spain, and some of them Basque people are in the southern France. So they have their own genetics. They have their own language. Their language is so different from other languages, and the history itself is cut off. Uh, it, they don't know how to trace the language itself, and they have their own genetics. They're white people, and they live in the borders of uh, of Spain and France. But he belonged to the Spain nation. But they're not Spaniards by blood, although they are white. And during those times, he was exiled, not exiled, but he sought refuge in the Philippines to avoid uh, persecution, because he was with the other government. He was anti-government. He was with the other party, and he became a farmer, and not a small-time farmer. He was a big, huge, with a huge tract of land, and he was a strong person as well. And people would say that he could throw a cartwheel, a huge cartwheel, over the fence, and he could also stop two bulls from fighting, locking horns with each other. Those bulls, we call it carabao or water buffalo. They help the farmers till the land. So sometimes they would fight, lock horns, and he would separate the two, and people would had witnessed how did he did it. Okay, and going back to my experiences from other people, like the pure Filipinos, they are very strong as well. And I think it has got to do with the land. The Philippines is is composed of islands, and usually, uh, especially during the 1950s, uh, the farm is near the sea and the mountain. So people would always avail of natural, the natural environment. And if you're a farmer, small farmer or big farmer, you tend to be physical, especially those people who live or who own their farms in between the sea and the mountains. So sometimes these farmers, they go to the sea to become fishermen. Sometimes they go to the mountains to do some hunting. And with this farm, if they are like farming for a specific uh, types of plantation, like rice or let's say sugarcane, they still have a small piece of land for their own consumption. Like they grow organic stuff for their own consumption, and then uh, livestock that eat uh, organic food. Uh, so that's how they live their lives, and they eat fresh fish from the sea. Sometimes they don't fish. Sometimes they fish. Sometimes small fishermen comes along, and then they buy the fish fresh. And everything is organic, and everything is physical. That's the environment of Philippines, especially a long time ago. So that's why people are strong, and some of the genes pass down to later generations. So it's about the culture of the country itself, why people become strong. And why do Filipinos become like good in boxing, strong in boxing as well? Because I've I've noticed that Filipinos, like the Malay race, they are flexible. They are very flexible in their body compared to other races. So if you combine those, like flexibility and power, you will you will see a Manny Pacquiao and Casimero. It's not about PEDS. Nothing to do with PEDS. And there are a lot of uh, nutritious foods that we put in our dish. Very nutritious food, and we don't limit ourselves. We eat fatty foods. We eat carbo. We eat protein. We eat fish. We eat everything. So that's what makes Filipinos strong. And why is it that there is not a lot of Filipino uh, strong people publicized? Well, we're not into publicity, and most of people who are publicized in the Philippine scene, it's they are not they're not exposed to these healthy lifestyle anymore. So they are already in an entertainment style of entertainment business. So most of them are from the cities. So the people in the cities are not that healthy compared to the people whom I mentioned, who who are on the outskirts. And most of these people who are on the outskirts, their schools are so far, but they want their children to go to school, and they have to walk every day from an hour to 2 hours going to the school and back. So the Filipinos, the poor Filipinos from the urban, no, sorry, from the rural areas are very strong. Very strong. So if you can pick one or two of them and then make them a boxer, Casimero and Manny Pacquiao is common. If you can pick any of those people and turn them into boxers. So PEDS is not the reason why Filipinos are, I mean, Casimero and Pacquiao is are strong people. It's because of the environment and then the genetics, which is that the genetics uh, of Malay race is very flexible. Malay meaning Filipino. Filipino is a nationality. Malay is the race. But why is it that let's say why is it that a lot of Filipinos they don't end up successful? Uh, let's say Bobby Pacquiao. Well, there is a uh, mentality thing to that. Most Filipinos are laid back. We don't like to stress out anything. So we're not as hard worker as Manny Pacquiao and Casimero. Most of the Filipinos are laid back, and most Filipinos indulge themselves in drinking and a lot of vices. So one Filipino guy told me that if you don't have a vice, if you're a guy who don't doesn't have a vice, you're abnormal. So I don't know why he said that. Is it for every guy or just for the Filipino? But usually Filipinos got a vice, and it can be gambling, drinking, smoking, whatever. So Filipinos tend to be laid back. That's why hard work is not our main intention in life. To have fun is our main intention in life. So those farmers, those poor people, they have no choice but to uh, to work hard, and whatever money they earn, they like to spend it on something that is not useful. That's a typical Filipino way, right? So you can see Filipinos wearing nice shoes. You can see Filipinos wearing uh, nice jackets and all this stuff. Bicycles. So Filipinos we love to spend, and we love to uh, to enjoy life. We don't like hard work unless we are forced to. That's why most of the boxers they don't get successful because a small money they can earn from boxing, they tend to live the life. So it's just like Roberto Duran, right? He just spent it all. It's like Mike Tyson. They like to spend and then be happy. So that's why a lot of Filipinos don't become successful in boxing. You see a lot of talent, but uh, and in the end, in the long run, they tend to lose a lot. They tend to lose their focus on boxing. And this is my video for the day. And thanks for watching. I tell you, we Filipinos need no PEDS.